freezing. It's like minus 18 degrees. As promised. Oh no. Holy shit. That's cold. That's cold. That's cold. Oh my god, bro. Hey, what's up guys? It's Austin here and I hope you're having a great day. Today I'm going to be giving you a video with the top 5 biggest ball pythons inside of my collection. And since my collection is here at Mutation Creation now, I'm actually going to show you a little bit of a bonus at the end and show you the biggest snake that we have here at Mutation Creation. Before we get into that, huge shout out to KC Reptile Lab LLC. Thanks so much for the really cool shirt. Love the colors, green and orange. And they're definitely not slacking on the back. They got the cocoa on there. So go and give them a follow. And we're gonna get straight into the top 5 biggest ball pythons I have and the biggest snake here. So a lot of times when people hear ball pythons, they get stuck on the python part and think that they grow to enormous sizes like Burmese, African rock pythons, and reticulated pythons, but that's just not the case. Ball pythons are actually a smaller size of python. They max out about 5 feet. Sometimes you can get them around 6 feet, but that's really rare. And usually that's a different line of ball pythons called the voltas, which come from a region where the ball pythons there just grow a little bit bigger. I don't have any voltas in my collection, but I do have some really cool big ones, and I'm gonna show you guys right now. So to start off with number 5, this is my Pastel Vanilla Clown Girl, and she's pretty cool. Right now she is going into shed, so her colors are not as vibrant as they could be. But she definitely is one of my biggest clown girls, or actually is my biggest clown girl. And she is a 2017 Pastel Vanilla Clown. And she's around 4 feet long. Me, I'm 6 feet tall, so she's just about 2 feet shorter than I am. And she's looking very plump. She's eating a medium rat once a week. Sometimes I skip a week in between. This week I probably will skip as she is in shed. But she is definitely looking cool, and she is 2,660 grams, which equates out to about 5.85 pounds. So she's almost 6 pounds, and she's just really cool. But this is already a big ball python, and I have 4 more bigger ones to show you. Number 4 is gonna be my lesser het Redxanthic Mahogany girl, and she is also pretty big. She's around 4 feet tall. And as you guys can see, I really like the dark colors and this really nice dorsal stripe she has about the middle of her back that goes all the way to the tip of her tail. And she has a really wacky and busy pattern. I'm not too big of a fan of the darker snakes, but I really like her pattern and the colors she has. She has some really nice highlighting in the dorsal that looks just amazing. And she too is in shed like the last one. If I zoom in a little bit right there, you can see her eye caps are blue, which means she's in shed. And just like the last one, she is about 4 feet long. She's actually looking a little bit more plump, and also just like the last one, she's eating 1 rat small weekly, and sometimes I do skip a meal. And since she's in shed just like the last one is, I'll probably be skipping a meal for her too this week. And she is 2,739 grams, which equates to about 6 pounds. So going a little bit up the scale, not too much bigger than the last one, but definitely a bit bigger. So for number 3, we have this beautiful pied girl right here, and she is a low white pied, and this is actually how I prefer my pieds. I really like the pattern that pieds can have. This one almost looks like an Enchi pied, especially with all the blotching of the pattern. I just like the look of the snake and how the genes really interact with the pattern. When you have too much white, you really don't get to see how they interact. So this is my ideal pied, even though a lot of people prefer pieds that are 50% white, 50% patterns, and sometimes people even prefer the total opposite and they like 90% white and 10% pattern. But this is just me, and this girl is a little bit bigger, long-wise and girth-wise than the last one. This one's probably about 4'4", 4'5". And if you guys want me to make another video where I actually go back and measure my top 5 longest snakes, I'll go through all the snakes I have in this rack here, because this is my 70-30 rack. I usually keep females in there when they're above 2,000 grams, and this girl definitely is above 2,000 grams. She is 2,773 grams, and that equates to about 6.1 pounds. So she's only a 0.1 pound bigger than the last snake, but she's definitely a lot longer. So once again, around 4'4" to 4.5 feet, and a beautiful pie at that. So for number 4, right here, we have one of my Lavender 100% het for pie girls. So this girl can make me some really cool dreamsicles. This year I have her paired to an ivory dreamsicle, so every dreamsicle I make from this clutch is going to be a yellow belly dreamsicles, which are really cool. And this girl definitely is one of my biggest ball pythons. She's about 4.5 feet, maybe a little bit longer. And you can see she is just a beautiful looking snake. I really like the Lavender albinos. They just look amazing, and the colors and all the blue inside and purple is just insane. And she is definitely a really cool snake. She only gets 1 rat a week, and yes, it is a small rat once again. I generally do not like to feed my ball pythons anything bigger than a small rat. Some people like to feed bigger. Me personally, I think a small rat's the perfect size for an adult ball python. Won't make them too fat, and they'll still be good to breed for you. And I don't want to mess around with this girl too much, because she's actually breeding right now, and she's really close to eggs. She's at around 20 millimeter follicles. And she weighs 2,803 grams, which equates to about 6.2 pounds. So only a 0.1 pound bigger once again than the last one, and maybe an inch longer than that pied, but a really cool Lavender. And let me just show you guys her once again. Right here is the biggest snake I have here in my collection. This is my 2014 Butter Spider Girl. She's 8 years old, and she's laid many clutches for me, about 5 or 6, and you can see that she is just ginormous. She's around 4.5 feet, almost pushing that 5 foot mark, and she is just looking amazing. She's breeding, and I believe she's gravid right now. You guys can see she's looking very plump. She is huge. She weighs in at 3,126 grams, which is 6.9 pounds. Just under that 7 pound mark, which is incredible for a ball python. Some do get a little bigger, but this is already a huge female. And if you guys didn't know, females do get bigger than males do, hence why there's no males in this video. If you guys want me to go make my biggest male video, I definitely will get that for you, but me personally, I prefer to keep my males a little bit smaller because they breed a little better that way. And this girl is just doing awesome. One last shot of her before I show you guys the little surprise. So I have one more big ball python that I own to show you guys, and this was actually in Billy's racks. I totally forgot I had her in my collection. This is just a huge het pie girl, and every year she lays about 10 to 12 eggs for me. That's why I've held her back, even though she is just a het pie. And this year we're breeding her into the double het monsoon pie project, so hopefully she can produce some pies or het pies that also look to be het monsoon to hold back for the future. As a lot of you guys know, I really like that project. She's about 4'7", 4'8", and just looking amazing. Definitely a really long snake. If I were to go and hold her up completely, if she were to cooperate, you guys can see that she is definitely a longer snake, maybe even pushing that 5 foot mark. And once again, kind of like all my big snakes are, if you guys can see the eyes right there, they're in blue because she is deep in shed. And it actually looks like some of the shed is starting to come up. I'm not going to go and peel any of that off. I'm just going to go give her a little bit more humidity in the tub. You can peel off some of the shed when it's stuck, but right now she's actually going through the shedding process, so I'm going to leave her be. She weighs 3,338 grams, which equates to 7.35 pounds. And by far, she is the biggest ball python I own, probably lengthwise and size-wise. And she's actually not even up to her bigger size, because she did lay for me about 5 months ago, and she's getting paired once again. Usually I like to pair my ball pythons 4 to 6 months after they lay, and if they're eating really well. And she's eating well, but since I'm now feeding only small rats to my ball pythons, unlike the past where I used to feed a couple of mediums once every 2 weeks, she's growing a little bit slower than she used to be, and the biggest weight she's actually ever been over 5,000 grams, which literally is over 10 pounds. So she's about 3 pounds lighter than her top weight. I don't know if it's the healthiest to have her up there above 10 pounds. So once a week, a small rat is exactly what she's gonna get. And now let's go and move on to the biggest snake here at Mutation Creation. So for the biggest snake we have, it's actually not a ball python. If you guys didn't know, we do have some really cool boas here, and this is one of them. If she would like to cooperate. This is Midnight, and she is an Anery IMG Motley. Anery is a lot similar to the Redxanthic inside of ball pythons, which takes away a lot of the pigment and colors. And then you have IMG, which increases the melanin in the snake, hence why it's called IMG, increasing melanin gene. And that just makes the snake darker and darker as it gets older. And then we have one more gene in here, which is the Motley gene, and it gives a really nice tight pattern going down the back. Almost looks like a ladder back in my opinion, but it gives you nice little blotches going down the tail. And even at the top of the snake, it's kind of hard to see inside of this girl because the IMG did take away a lot of the colors. But she is definitely a cool snake, and she is well over 5 feet long. She's probably closer to 5'5", 5'6", and she is definitely over that 10-pound mark. I tried putting her on the scale for you guys so you guys can get a weight like I did with the other snakes, but she just wasn't cooperating at all. I did see that she was over 5,000 grams, which is definitely cool. And this is going to be it for today's video. Comment down below which snake was your favorite, and if you have a ball python that is bigger than mine. Pretty sure a few of you might, so comment them down below, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and peace out.